राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Shri Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की श्री गौर निताई की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदी All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimati Bir Krishna Goswami Niti Namne Namoham Sanikashaya Prabhupada Priyate Sri Dashtinishtabhem Tasya Vakyanvadine. Good morning and Hare Krishna to everyone. Welcome to this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class from Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Temple, North Sydney, Australia. Welcome also to our online viewers who are following the classes at our temples every morning on Mayapur TV, Sydney channel. And welcome also to our Facebook viewers as well as ISKCON Sydney YouTube. So there are 3 or 4 mediums in which they can view this class, which happens every morning, 7 days a week around this time. So this morning we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, and it's on chapter 30. Chapter 30 is titled Description of Adverse Fruitive Activities. And this morning we are reading from text 19. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nasta Prayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Okay. Yamadutau tada prapto Bhimo sarabhashekshano Sadristva trashta hirdayaha Sakran mutram vimunchati. Yamadutau tada prapto Bhimo sarabha shekshano Sadristva trashta hirdaya Sankran mutram vimunchati Yamaduto tada prapto Bhimo sarabha shekshano Sadristva trashta hirdaya Sakran mutram vimunchati Yamaduto tada prapto Bhimo sarabha sekshano Sadristva trishta hridaya Sakran vimutram vimuchati Yamaduta tada prapto Bhimo sarabha sekshano Sadristva trasta hirdaya Sakran mutram vimunchati Yamaduta tada prapto Bhimo sarabha sekshano Sadristva trasta hirdaya Sakran mutram vimuchati. Ladies? Anyone? Ladies? No? It's on the board. Okay. The words and the meanings. Yamaduto. Two messengers of Yamaraj. Tada. At that time. Prapto. Arrived. Bhimo. Terrible. Sarabhasa. Full of wrath. Ikshano. Their eyes. Sa. He. Dristva. Seeing. Trasta. Frightened. Hirdayaha. His heart. Shakrat. Stool. Mutram. Urine. Vimunchati. He passes. Okay, so the translation of what we just read is a very scary one this morning. Very scary. So the translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. At death, he sees the messengers of the Lord of Death come before him, their eyes full of wrath, and in great fear he passes stool and urine. Okay, we can all repeat. At death, he sees the messengers of the Lord of Death come before him, their eyes full of wrath, and in great fear he passes stool and urine. Wow. Okay. That's why we are all devotees, because we don't want that to happen to us. So, the purport. There are two kinds of transmigration of a living entity after passing away. Two transmigrations of a living entity after passing away from the present body. One kind of transmigration is to go to the controller of sinful activities. Go to the controller of sinful activities. Who is that? Who is known as Yamaraj. And the second one, is to go to the higher planets, up to Vaikunta. Here, Lord Kapil describes how persons engaged in activities of sense gratification to maintain a family are treated by the messengers of Yamaraj called Yamdutas. At the time of death, the Yamdutas become the custodians of those persons who have strongly gratified their senses. They take charge of the dying man and take him to the planet where Yamaraj resides. The conditions there are described in the following verses. So these verses that will, conditions of those planets in Yamaraj, it will be described every day. So for today, we will be reading what happens to the man who's been doing bad stuff and what happens to the man who does good stuff. So I will describe it today. So just a simple one. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so nobody wants to hear bad news. So I'll try my best to give you the good news as well as the bad news. The bad news is that for one who is doing stuff that is not good, they get to see Yamaraj. Now, Yamaraj is not somebody that we want to see in this life, in any life. So it is written here in this book that we just read, it says here that at the time of death, the Yamrajas become custodians. The custodians means they become in charge. And of the sperm of the family man, actually. It says here, the persons who are engaged in activities of sense gratification to maintain a family. Is it a crime to maintain a family? Is it criminal to maintain a family? No. No. It is the right thing to do. So then why will he go to Yamaraj? Because while maintaining his family, I will read it out to you in the Srimad Bhagavatam, he does bad things which he finds acceptable in order to maintain his family. So as opposed, the opposite side of it is somebody who is maintaining his family by doing good things. In other words, they have children, they teach their children to chant Hare Krishna, they teach their children to be religious, they teach their children and themselves to be kind to other living entities, animals, birds, other people. So these are good things. Now, on the opposite side, if a person is engaged in killing animals to feed his family, it means he's causing torture to animals. Yes, animals and birds and fish, they have to give up their life. So the simple way of looking at it is that we are human beings. When we cut our flesh, we bleed red blood. It's flesh. If you cut an animal, they will also bleed. The blood is also red. If you put both blood on side by side, you can't tell this is human blood, this is animal blood. Very simple. When we cut ourselves, we feel pain. When the animals cut, they also feel pain. They scream. So that is causing distress and danger and harm and suffering to other living entities if we do that. So it is a subject that is really hard for a lot of us to understand, and they ask, why are you vegetarian? Why are you vegetarian? Well, we are vegetarians because we don't want animals to suffer, but we are also vegetarians because we like to love other living entities. And according to the Srimad Bhagavatam, those people who cause pain to animals and other human beings get to see our friend Yamaraj. See, so we don't want to see Yamaraj. So one day I'll tell you my experience. I was in the hospital in my home country, Fiji. I was sick, so I went to see the doctor in the hospital. It was free. So then, unfortunately, it was on that particular day, there was a trolley there in the hall. and it was covered with a white bed sheet. As I was entering it's a public hospital. Somebody had left. What do you think they had left on the corridor? Any ideas? A trolley with a white bed sheet. Something is underneath. What was underneath? A dead body. Correct. Somebody had left a dead body on the corridor. And I went there to see a doctor. The doctors were in one of the cubicles, and I had to pass through next to the dead body. And I thought, what's that smell? It was stench. And I said it out loud. The next person next to me said, because the body had just died, so it can't smell straight away. But what the smell was, it was stool. So this person who was dying, while he was dying, he passed stool. What does the Srimad Bhagavatam tell us this morning? When a person is sinful, and when he dies, when Yamaraj comes, he is very fearful. He sees Brahmaraj doesn't come, his dutas come. His dutas are his servants. So the servants of Yamaraj, when they come, their eyes are full of wrath, means punishment. And the person dying gets so scared that they pass stool and urine. So the indication, what was happening to the dead person that I had just passed through. He had passed stool and he was smelling bad. So what was the destination of that person? Any guesses? Where did he go? Yeah, he went to Yamaraj, whoever that was. So that was my darshan for the morning when I went to the doctors years ago. So, how to save yourself from that fate? So it is a very serious topic, and my Guru Maharaj has suggested that we do not, when we are preaching, we do not explain about the different kinds of hell, because that will put people off. And we'll say the Hare Krishnas are telling us that we are bad people and we will go to hell. Because people want to listen to the good side of the story. So I will say, if you chant Hare Krishna, if you do good things, you will never see Yamaraj. You will never see Yamdutas. That's the good side. Now there are three modes of material nature. Who knows what they are? Goodness, passion, and ignorance. So which one do you think is the best one out of the three? Goodness, passion, and ignorance. Which one? Obviously, goodness, right? So if you are in the controlled mode, means, the mood of you, whatever the nature is like making you do. So if the nature, the mood, everything surrounding is making you good things, you are in the mode of goodness, then that's a good thing. Because then you'll become devotees, you'll do good things. If you are in the mode of passion or ignorance, then you are going to do passion, you're going to do good things and bad things. Ignorance, you're going to do completely bad things. So the idea is to be always in the mode of goodness. How to be in the mode of goodness? You chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Why I'm saying that is the power of the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is unlimited, because Krishna said he is going to be present in his names. Now Krishna is all purity, even Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, all purity, all kinds of purity is present just in his names. So once you chant the names, the purity will clean your heart, will put you in the mode of goodness. So for those practicing devotees, what do they have to do? Even the non-practicing devotees, what do you do? When you chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you chant without offenses. And that's why we repeat the 10 offenses every morning. So, do you want me to recite what the 10 offenses are? Or do you know? We've already recited it in the morning. But for the benefit, I'll just briefly tell you. For the benefit, now what does it mean without chanting, chanting without offenses, right? Chanting. First of all, chanting is reciting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, while I was doing that, it doesn't just mean chanting, it also means practicing of devotional service, being a devotee. You do it without offenses means, first of all, you don't blaspheme devotees who are preaching. So you don't criticize devotees who've been, it's a bad thing actually, it's a sin. Others are like you disobey the orders of your spiritual master, or you consider other demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal or independent, like bigger than Lord Vishnu. So you have to understand Krishna is God. There are many others, like the Srimad Bhagavatam we are reading, don't criticize that. You don't commit sinful activities by saying, I'm a Hare Krishna devotee, I'm powerful, so I'll do whatever I want, God will protect me. No. And we can't say like we are going to have lots of money, and you want money, or cheat other people while you are becoming a devotee. Can't do that. Many other offenses. We can't try to force other people to convert to Hare Krishna. Actually, we can't. If they don't have faith in Krishna, we can't tell them, you chant Hare Krishna. So the many offenses. So we have to do that. When we are practicing devotees, no offenses. We have to respect everybody. Then you don't go to hell. So I'm going to read to you the actual part that what I wanted to talk about is, first of all, I wanted to talk about what Arjun said to Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. And it's a very good start to understanding about this shlok this we're reading today, because I don't want to look at it in a bad light. I don't want to give a negative side to it, because Arjun was a very high level devotee of Krishna. Now he was put under certain maya. Maya means an illusion, like that which is not. So actually Arjun was very knowledgeable. He already knew the Bhagavad Gita, because Krishna had instructed him many times before many lives. Arjun always is Lord Krishna's friend, so he comes with Lord Krishna all the time. So he is already liberated. He doesn't need to know the Bhagavad Gita. But for foolish people like us, Arjun was put in illusion. So Arjun would ask Krishna, what is the meaning of life? What is good? What is bad? So then Krishna speaks. And then when he speaks, it is written in the Bhagavad Gita for people like us to read. So Arjun was temporarily put in a sort of a maya, yoga maya, not Mahamaya, yoga maya. There's a difference, but we won't go into it today. So Arjun is asking, he bases his argument not on his personal experience. This is from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1.43, if you want a reference. BG 1.43. He says his argument is not on his personal experience, but on what he heard from the authorities. So one way of receiving real knowledge, one cannot reach the real point of factual knowledge without being helped by the right person. Now, if I was somebody who was doing those offenses, the 10 offenses, and I'm sitting here and I'm preaching to you right in this microphone, that's not real knowledge. And you are not going to get any benefit. In fact, you are going to do the same things I'm doing. That is why it is very important to have people who are practicing and they are not committing offenses, and the things they say are good things. Otherwise, the listener will pick it up. So he's saying he has to listen from the right source. Now, he's saying there is a system in Varnashram institution by which, now we are coming to the point, by which before death, one has to undergo the process of atonement of his sinful activities. What does that mean? That means whatever sinful activities one might have done, intentionally or unintentionally, they have to go through something called praschit. In other words, do good things. In other words, chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because that will reduce the effects of sinful activities. It will purify you. In other words, atonement. So one who is always engaged in sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called praschita. Without doing so, one surely will be transferred to hellish planets and will have to undergo miserable lives as a result of sinful activities. So it is not too late. you will find that many Hare Krishna devotees were doing sinful activities before they became a devotee. It's true. I myself was born in a meat-eating family. Rakshasas. I'm a Rakshasin by birth. I'm joking. But Krishna turns Rakshasas into devotees. Not only Krishna, the power of the Mahamantra. So by chanting and chanting and chanting, but also by association. Now I find it horrible that I ever ate meat. So, but the nature is there, by the way. So the minute I stop chanting Hare Krishna and I stop associating with devotees, I will go back to my Rakshasin self. I'll become like Putna. Not really like Putna, but the nature is always there. And to make it worse, if you are from a Kshatriya family, then we pick up the knife and we start killing people. Not really killing people, but when we get angry, we really get angry, furious. So I happen to be in some kind of family like that. So I can pick up a sword. Well, my nature is I can pick up a sword, but I won't, and I never do. But it happens. And in order to stop those sinful activities, you have to prayashchit. You got to chant Hare Krishna. That's the point I'm trying to make. Keep chanting, chant, chant, chant. Doesn't matter what situation you are in, just chant and practice the devotional service. So I was also going to read to you something which Prabhupada always quotes. And if you want to know the reference, this is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10.14.58. And for those of us who have been reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, you will know this one. Padam padam yat vipadam. And the reference is, you can get it from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.58. Now what does that mean? Okay, so this is the nice thing. I said I will tell you good things rather than bad things about the hell. So the good thing is, for those, if you read this, for those who have accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord. So for those of us who have chosen to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, for those of us who have chosen Krishna, so or those who have taken shelter with the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Murari. Now what does Murari mean? Murari is the enemy of Mura, demon. Lord Krishna is the enemy of Mura, demon. He does not like bad things and bad people. So he's the enemy of Mura. So whoever has taken shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Murari, the enemy of Mura, demon, the ocean of material world is like a water contained in a calf's hoof print. Means a calf's hoof is about that big. And if that footprint or the hoof print is full of water, the troubles is just like that, the size of that. All the troubles, all the sinful activities becomes like the size of that. Their goal is Param Padam, Vaikunta. Instead of Yamraja's hellish planets, their goal becomes Vaikunta. Param Padam. Vaikunta, the place where there are no material miseries, not the place where there is danger at every step. Because in this life there is danger at every step. Now, the danger comes through, can be many things. It can come through your desires, if you want to do bad things, but it is also taking association of bad things. So if somebody is doing bad things, then you cannot associate with such people, because it will just rub off you and you will do the same things and you will become bad. Even though you'll say, oh, well, that person was a high-level devotee. What happened to them? Well, they just made the wrong friends. And that's what happened to them. So association, time and time again, we are always told, just make sure that you choose your friends carefully. So I am going to read to you now the different types of places that Yamaraj has saved for people who are doing things like that. So I had first-hand experience, like I said. That day I went to the hospital and I passed through the dead corpse on the trolley. It was covered, thank God, but the smell he had passed through. And I didn't understand it at that time. I later asked, what happens to the person, or why would he pass stool when he's dying? Well, obviously he saw Yamaraj in Yamadutas because he must have been doing some bad stuff. That's a very heavy one, so you feel kind of bad. Where did that person go? So, I'm now going to read to you a very famous description. We never go there, but for the purposes of the shlok this morning, I will go there. We hardly go there, let's put it that way. It is in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 26. So, I'm going to be reading from the summary. Canto 5, Chapter 26. We are reading here from Canto 3. But our Srimad Bhagavatam describes everything. Everything means everything. From the planets to the material modes of nature, to creation, to cosmos, to different types of demigods, to their planets, to even hell. What kind of hell and sinful activities, everything you ever want to know, you read the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is chapter 26, and chapter 26 in Canto 5 describes how a sinful man goes to different hells, which is the topic of the day today. How a sinful man goes to different hells where he is punished in various ways by assistance of Yamaraj. Assistance of Yamaraj, Yamadutas. So, like I was saying, it is written here, the bewildered spirit soul under the influence of the three modes of material nature thinks himself as the doer of activities by which are actually carried out by nature. The foolish person thinks he is independent of any law. He thinks there is no God. Atheists. Or he thinks there is no regulative principles and he can do whatever he likes. Thus he engages in different sinful activities and is put into different hellish conditions, life after life, after life, after life, because he doesn't follow the four regulative principles. That is why Prabhupada actually, they say the Hare Krishna people, you are very strict. No meat, no fish, no eggs, no alcohol, no, this, no that. Actually, it is designed to protect us from hell. It's a protective shell, Srila Prabhupada told us. That is why we're practicing it, because we don't want to go to hell. And we can't really tell people, if you do this, then you will not go to hell. If you are doing this, you are bad, you will go to hell. So what is this Mataji teaching us? But actually it's a fact of life. If you do bad things, that's where you're going to go. So our friend Yamaraj, he has made very special planets for the sinners. Very nice arrangements. He has made 28 different types of hell. There is not only one hell, there is 28 different types. And so we are now going to describe the different kinds of sins. Please don't take this as an impetus to do it. In other words, take it as an impetus not to do it. Don't think, oh, Mataji is reading this, let me try it. Please don't try this. It's not going to be good for you. So here's one sin. A person who steals another's money, a person who steals another's wife, because it happens. Somebody tries to steal somebody else's wife because they want to. So, or possessions. Now there is a special hell for this person. He is put into the hell known as Tamishra. A man who tricks someone and enjoys his wife is put into extremely hellish condition known as Andhatmishra. So it's called Andhatmishra because they torture this person, Yamaraj, until they become blind. It is extremely, hell is hell. Okay, so here we were talking about the man who maintains his family by killing animals and feeding them, because they say, my children are hungry, I'll give them chicken. My children are hungry, I'll get them lamb. Okay, so what happens to that person? A foolish person absorbed in the bodily concept of life, who on the basis of this principle maintains himself or his wife and children by committing violence against other living entities, animals, fish, birds. Violence against other living entities is put into a hell known as Raurava. Raurava or Raurav is a special hell where the animals he killed, They take birth as creatures called rurus, and they cause great suffering for him. So they get tortured by the animals they've killed. Now the question arises, I didn't kill the chicken, the slaughterhouse did. I just ate the chicken. It's foolish, isn't it? The same sin. And to the point that we do not support people who sell like KFC or McDonald's, and you'll find devotees will, even if they get offered job, they will not work there. Because that is supporting the killing of animals. So we don't do that even. Not even, buy it, but we don't even support them in any way. We don't even go to their shop to buy things there. We don't go to McDonald's or KFC. We try not to. So those who kill different animals and birds, then cook them, are put by the agents of Yamaraj into a hell known as Kumbhipaka, where they are boiled in oil. A person who kills a Brahman, what happens to them? Because you will have heard in India, in different countries, certain religion of people are killing Brahmins. Right? You've seen it in the Facebook. Our Hare Krishna devotees have been killed. It's very, very heartbreaking. For chanting Hare Krishna, you can see he's in a dhoti and his head is shaven and there's blood and he's dead on the road. It's been killed by some radical extremists. What happens to them? The killer of a Brahman burns in that land. They're going to be, I jumped ahead. A person who kills a Brahman is put into the hell known as Kala Sutra, where the land, perfectly level and made of copper, is as hot as an oven. The killer of a Brahman burns in that land for many, many years. One who does not follow scriptural injunctions, but who does everything whimsically or follows some rascal, is put into the hell known as Ashipatravan. Okay, so those people who are killed, who kill Brahmins, are put into this land that is like copper, and that copper is burning, and they are many millions of years. They burn. They just burn. They can't put their foot anywhere. So if you imagine walking in the hot sun in a pavement and the pavement is hot, you will not walk on it. For those of us who come from hot countries, these people are put in land like that. It's so hot. There is a government official who is poorly administers justice or punishes an innocent man is taken by the assistance of Yamaraj to a hell known as Sukramukha, where he is mercilessly beaten. So there are many different kinds of hell. I don't want to give you all. I'll just give you a summary of it. A thief is put into a hell known as Sandamsha. So in other words, you cannot steal. And it becomes intensified if you are a devotee and you are stealing from Krishna. I told that story about me stealing from Krishna in my early days. Well, I wasn't stealing money. I went to the temple and I said to Krishna, I was this university student, and I said, I'm reminded of this temple. I had to drive 1 hour to get to the temple. So I thought, I can't come every time. So I'll take something from the temple to remind me that I've been here. And I look at that and I'll think I've been to the temple. So this was in Auckland, New Zealand, Krishna Giridhari, Radha Giridhari temple, beautiful temple. This amazing paintings on the ceilings. And I went to the garden. It had some very smooth pebbles. So I picked one pebble. You think, I took it home. That's not stealing, I thought. In my mind, you take a stone, is it stealing from Krishna? No, it's just a stone. So I took it and I said, every time I look at this stone, I'll think of Krishna. I've been to the temple. That night I had a dream. Little Krishna, about maybe a toddler, was in his mother's arms, and his mother was trying to hold him straight, but he wasn't straight. He was going like this to the left. The mother holds him again upright. Yashoda Mai must have been. He looks here. And then he looks everywhere on the ground. What is he looking for? He's looking for the stone. That was precious to him. I didn't know that. It's in the dream, obviously, but Then I saw another little Krishna after that scene. He's a little bit bigger and he's crawling under the bushes, or he must have crawled out from the bushes. The dust on his cheeks here, like this muddy dust, and his hair had some leaves. He looks like he'd been crawling in the bushes looking for that stone. And I woke up and I thought next day, okay, I'd better return that stone. He's looking for it. It belongs to him. So one stone he misses. And that also means there are many billions of stones. How many stones are there? Can anybody count? But that one stone Krishna was looking for out of the billions. So imagine how precious you are. You are even bigger than the stone. Many. So you are also precious. He's also looking for you. You might think, many people, why would Krishna look for me? If he can miss a stone, he can miss you. But also don't take his stone from the garden. Well, I never did. I returned in the exact same place. That is stealing. So don't take his stone, don't take his books, don't take his money, don't take anything without permission. Especially money. Because it is written here, where I was reading, that there is a hell made especially for thieves. It's been designed especially for thieves. So stealing is also a very bad habit. So actually this class is I'm supposed to be teaching good things. So the good thing is don't steal. The bad thing is if you steal, this is where you'll go. There's a special help for that. Now, a person who has, this is a different one. This is Kali Yuga. All kinds of things are happening. Oh my gosh, we're already up to time. A thief is put into hell. Okay, we found out that. A person who has sexual relationships with a woman who is not to be enjoyed. So there are certain women who are Brahmin ladies or somebody else's wife. In fact, not your wife. All women who is not your wife cannot be enjoyed in sexual relationships. That's what we are told. There is a special hell known as Tapta Surmi. A person who enjoys sexual relations with animals also is put into a hell known as Vajra Kantaka Salmali. A person born into, there's many. So if you think there's no hell provided for a particular sin, that's wrong. There's 28 different types of hell. Yamaraj is very thorough and it is very efficient. He even made a special hell for who was that in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? The two naughty ones. I forgot their name. Who? Jay and Vijay. Jagai and Madai. Yeah, just suddenly I had a blank. Jagai and Madai, they made a special hell for them because they were doing all kinds of nasty things. So if you want to really know if you are committing sinful activities, what kind of hell has been prepared for you, particularly read Canto 5, Chapter 26. That will suit you, tailor-made for you. Or if you want to protect yourself from the hell, just chant Hare Krishna without offenses. Take association from good devotees. Do not steal from Krishna. Don't take his money because there's a hell waiting for you. Not only Krishna, from anyone. Do good things. In fact, somebody tells you to do good things, please do. Do not steal somebody's money, somebody's wife, somebody's property, possessions, even burning somebody's property is also, there's a special hell. Different kinds of things. So, Canto 5, Chapter 26 is a very good one to tell you. That ends today's class. I hope you enjoyed it and I didn't frighten you too much. Are there any questions and comments? Adequately frightened? You will chant Hare Krishna today? Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Puran ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.